Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I will walk you through some of the modules so that you will get to know how exactly these modules are structured. So for instance, the naming generator module, it's a very interesting module, right? So Microsoft has the abbreviation for all of or most of its resources, and we will be using these abbreviations. For instance, whenever we wanted to create a virtual network, we will be the abbreviation is going to be VNet for subnet, route table, and NSG, RG, whatever is that. For all the resources, Microsoft does provide the abbreviation, and using which we wanted to create a name, right? So for instance, so if I go to the APAM module, so first I am calling the naming generator module, and I'm passing these as a attribute, uh, right? So I will be passing the name, environment, location, the instance number. So then it comes to the naming module. So if you see here for the APAM, so the format it is going to be APIM and the name, then the environment, location, and the instance number. So location, you don't want to use the full location name. Rather, like you wanted to have abbreviation. Again, this is part of the Microsoft abbreviation standards. So if you're using the East US, the location abbreviation it is going to be US, right? So based on which the naming will get generated, then it will be used like this module.naming.apim that is exposed in the naming module. So for each of these resources we have a output here. So for APIM we are just exporting this APIM value that we have set here, right? So in the naming module, APIM it's set here. So this is what we are exporting, right? So and the like we create a APIM. So again, like if you see here this module, this APIM module, it's a very it's a kind of a composite module. It's a composite module. It has so many other resources created, right? So it does create the APIM, and the like it also sets the policies. Policy it is for now, like we have defined the some standard policies here, and based on your needs you can change it at any point in time. And the, like it does create the diagnostic settings. So if you go to the diagnostic setting, for instance, uh, again this diagnostic settings, it is also a composite module. It make a call to the naming module, and the like it creates the diagnostic settings for you. So in such a way, like uh, a module, most of the modules are kind of a composite module. Everything it's put together to make everything work. When you want to create a APIM, it's just not creating the APIM, but all the relevant resources needs to be created along with the APIM. So we create a diagnostics and we create a private endpoint for a APIM. You don't want to expose your APIM. So in the previous video I mentioned that there is a architecture pattern that needs to be followed, right? So our architecture pattern is that APIM will not be exposed over the internet. Rather, like you need to have a friend door profile which does support the WAF. To do that, you need to have a private endpoint, and we create a key vault. Why do we need a key vault? So in most of the cases, if you're really using the APM, in most of the cases probably, like you will end up using uh, the you know the managed named values, right? So you don't want to store the plain text. Rather, like you may need to read this information from a key vault, and some health APIs to check the status of your APIM. And probably, like you can create some products here, products and subscription. Let's into the API module here. So if you see here the API module, it's again a composite module. So it has the API policy and the named value. So all of these are optional. If you have it, then it will create. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything, right? Then you will have your product. It's again going to be a composite module. So you first create a product and add the APIs into that product. Then you will have your APM subscription. APM subscription seems to be a very standard module. Just create the subscription. So that's how, like, we create the modules for the landing zone. And each most when you create a specific module, make sure that it does not create only that specific resource, rather, like, it takes care of everything, right? One more sample, like if I go to the, for instance, let me go to key vault here, right? So if I go to the key vault, so key vault does a lot of things. So first, it make a call to the naming and create a key vault, and assign some permission to whoever you wanted to have. And then, like, it sets the diagnostics, and it also does the private endpoint. Same thing, like if you take any module, it is just not going to create the specific resource, rather, like, it's going to set all the relevant resources together. So that's how we create the modules for the landing zone. That's all I have for this video. Thank you.